What if I told you that over 100 years ago, one man had already solved the global energy crisis? He had a working device, he had the patents, he had the proof, and then, one phone call from the most powerful banker in America, and it was gone. The device was destroyed, the funding was cut, the man died alone and broke in a hotel room, and the world was forced to keep burning oil and coal for the next 100 years. My name is IronSutra, and today I am going to show you exactly what Tesla built, how it worked, and precisely why they made sure you never got to use it. Most people know Tesla as the inventor of AC electricity, the alternating current system that literally powers every single device in your home right now. That was Tesla, not Edison, Tesla. But here is what they do not teach you in school. By 1899, Tesla had moved beyond AC electricity entirely. He had spent years in his Colorado Springs laboratory running experiments that his own contemporaries called impossible. He was transmitting electrical power through the earth itself, wirelessly, with zero transmission lines. Let me say that again, because I want you to understand what this means. Right now, to power your city, we need thousands of kilometers of copper wire, transformer stations, substations, power grids, all of which lose 30 to 40% of their energy as heat before the electricity even reaches your home. Tesla was doing it with no wires, no loss, just the earth as the conductor. He called it the world system. Now I want to break this down properly, because nobody ever explains this part correctly. Tesla discovered something called Earth resonance frequency. The Earth is not just a rock floating in space. It is a giant electromagnetic cavity, a conductor surrounded by the ionosphere above it. Between the surface of the Earth and the ionosphere above, there is a natural electrical frequency. It resonates at approximately 7.83 Hertz. This is now called the Schumann resonance. It is a scientifically confirmed, measurable fact. NASA measures it. Your phone uses it for calibration. Tesla discovered this in 1899. What he realized was this: if you can match a transmitter to the exact resonant frequency of the Earth ionosphere cavity, you can push electrical energy into that cavity and extract it anywhere on Earth. Think of two tuning forks. Strike one, and the other vibrates automatically. Tesla's plan was to build giant towers, resonant transmitters, that would pump energy into the Earth's natural frequency, and anyone, anywhere on Earth, with a simple receiving antenna, could pull that energy out of the ground for free. He called the tower the Wardenclyffe Tower. Construction started in 1901 on Long Island, New York. It stood 57 meters tall. It had a 55-ton steel shaft driven 36 meters underground. It was the most advanced electrical structure ever built, and it nearly changed everything. To build the tower, Tesla needed funding. He went to the most powerful financier in America, J.P. Morgan. Morgan agreed. He invested $150,000, a massive sum in 1901, but Morgan made one critical assumption: that Tesla was building a wireless communications tower, like a radio station. Something Morgan could monetize, charge people per message, per transmission. Then Tesla revealed the full truth. The tower was not for communication. It was for free energy, power that anyone could access anywhere in the world with a simple receiver. No meter, no monthly bill, no profit. Morgan famously asked Tesla, "If anyone can draw on the power, where do I put the meter?" There was no answer, because you cannot meter free energy. You cannot bill someone for power they pull from the ground beneath their feet. Morgan immediately cut all funding. He then used his enormous influence to make sure no other investor in America would touch Tesla's project. Within 2 years, Wardenclyffe Tower was abandoned. In 1917, the United States government demolished the tower, claiming it was a potential signaling device for German submarines. Tesla's dream died in a cloud of dynamite dust. Now here is where it gets darker. Tesla died on January 7, 1943, in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel. He was 86 years old, alone, and nearly broke. Within hours of his death, before his body was even cold, agents from the United States Office of Alien Property entered his room and seized every single document, every notebook, every drawing, every file, 300 trunks of material. They were taken to a government facility energy and classified. For years, the FBI denied having any Tesla files. Then, in 2016, the FBI quietly released a portion of those documents under the Freedom of Information Act. But here is what is important. These were only partial files, heavily redacted, full of black bars where the most technical sections should be. The complete files have never been released. I will tell you this directly. You do not classify the notebooks of a dead inventor for 70 years unless those notebooks contain something that someone does not want built. Let me now break down exactly why free energy was, and still is, the most dangerous idea on Earth. The global energy industry is worth $10 trillion per year. Every single power plant, every oil field, every gas pipeline, every electricity meter on every wall and every building in the world. All of it becomes worthless if energy is free. The countries that control energy control the world. Wars have been fought over oil fields in the Middle East for over 100 years. The moment you take energy out of the equation as a commodity, the entire global power structure shifts. That is not a conspiracy theory. That is economics. That is geopolitics. That is exactly what J.P. Morgan understood in 1903 and acted on. Here is the part that mainstream media never mentions. Wireless power transmission is real. It works. Your phone charges wirelessly right now using the exact same principle Tesla described. The Schumann resonance is real, scientifically confirmed, measured daily. In 2007, MIT scientists successfully transmitted electricity wirelessly across a room with no wires. They called it resonance coupling. Tesla called it the world system 100 years earlier. The science was never wrong. The science was never fake. What was fake was the story that it could not be done at a global scale. Because the moment someone successfully scales wireless free energy, the $10 trillion energy industry collapses overnight. Tesla was not a madman. He was not a failure. He was a man who was 100 years ahead of his time and was systematically destroyed by the people who had the most to lose from his success. The technology exists. The science is proven. The only thing standing between you and free energy is the same thing that stood in Tesla's way in 1903. Money, power, control. I am IronSutra, and I will keep showing you what they hid from you. If this video made you think, subscribe right now. Hit the bell icon, because next week we go even deeper.